All right, guys, I wanted to make another update on the market and what is kind of going on for me. I'm still bullish. There's, I don't see rates being cut this week. Just remember that my personal belief is that if and when rates do get cut, that is what will trigger the market to sell off hard, and it will keep selling off until they stop cutting rates. But obviously, with the news inversion narrative, they're going to promote a non-rate cut as disappointing for investors, right? Which is like it's kind of like a true lie, right? Because they're basically saying the rates won't be cut, which is probably true. But the lie is that it's disappointing, and when rates aren't cut, that's actually good for the market, right? So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I think that we're still bullish. And since Market Watch headline, front page headline, is kind of putting out this to cause uncertainty and still keep that fear going, I see the market going up. Now, it seems like lately, though, like this weekend, I haven't seen a lot of like fear. It seems like a lot of the news media has kind of eased off the fear for the past few days. So we'll see. They'll probably step back on the fear pedal when the rate decision happens and stuff. But this is why the news isn't just going to give you like a day-by-day play to make, right? Because a lot of the times they just kind of put in filler stuff, right? To keep people uncertain, not making it too, they just do their normal scheduled programming. And so this is why the news isn't always the perfect indicator, right? You have to wait. Like I said in the previous videos, you have to wait until the news is across all the major news sources: CNBC, CNN, Bloomberg, Market Watch. Just like make sure you're seeing all the news, even maybe Fox. But Fox isn't pretty up to date with their market type stuff. But it's just if you see, Reddit. Just look for a unanimous belief that the market's going to fail or that the market's bullish. That's where the contrarian opportunity comes in. But my thesis of bullishness remains because they're not promoting a bullish narrative. They've eased off the bearish narrative, but they're not promoting a bullish narrative, right? So this is kind of like the keep going with your bias from the last unanimous deception, right? So, yeah, I really think. Sorry, excuse me. The market, the amount of fear mongering, the amount of fear that they hit investors, traders, everyone with this past month in regards to the market was so extreme and severe. I can't see that being a short-term play for Wall Street. Like that much liquidation, that much selling that they induced into the public, that's for a big play, right? So I can see the market going up quite a bit before that play is over with, right? They're not just doing that for a 1 month long little bullish thing. No. What we just saw, the amount of fear that you've seen spreading through the echo chambers this past month, that is not for a short-term play. That is for a big long-term play. They're really going to rip people's faces off with that one. Think of people who sold calls. Think of people who sold long-dated calls, right? They need to give those people infinite loss if possible, right? They need to make sure puts expire completely worthless for months, right? There's a lot of money to be made in a play that was that unanimous. Has to be big, right? So in my eyes, it really is bullish. Until they cut rates, I am very bullish, okay? So that's just kind of my short update for the week. And, obviously you can stay tuned with my channel. I'm going to, keep you updated a couple times a month with my thoughts. but also you can do it yourself. It's not hard. If you've seen my past few videos or you've seen a lot of my videos, you're going to pretty much know what to do for now, right? Just wait for rate cuts, but also wait for the news to become unanimously bullish. When it eventually does down the road, that's when the crash will resume, right? And like, I mean, obviously might as well take advantage of this bull market while you can, but hopefully the rate cuts don't come way too far in the future, because like I want that to come through. I want the market to go through its whole crash thing so that we can go back down to low rates, and that's where you get a really big and long bull market that can last for like a decade, right? Like what we saw from like after the 2007 to 2009 financial housing crisis, we had low rates for a very long time, and the bull market was lasting for, I mean, there were crashes within it for sure, but that overall, it was a very long uptrend for about a decade, right? So actually, yeah, pretty much a decade. Then there was the COVID crash, and then it was like 2 more years of a bull market. Then there was the 2022 crash, and then there's like 2 more big years of bull market, right? But back down to low rates, like, can't come soon enough, in my opinion. Just got to get that crash over with when it does come, and then you've got a reason to be bullish for years and years, right? So, but even along the way, you know, markets are fractal, okay? And how I'm going to make a weird analogy that you may not have thought of in terms of timing the market is you could use the news and wait for, even within a long-term low interest rate bull market, the times when you'd know to step out of the market for a few months because there's going to be a small crash would be, again, keep an eye on the news, wait for unanimously bullish sentiment across all the major sources and across Reddit. See, because there's 2 ways that you have to analyze this. First, you have to see what's the media saying, and then you have to see how the general public is reacting to it. And to me, Reddit is a really good gauge of that, because the people on Reddit are they are the dumbest people you will ever see. Well, you won't see them, but, you know, read their comments. They are the dumbest of the dumb. Okay, Reddit is like literally like it's like idiocracy, dude. But they think they're smart. It's like this pseudo-intellectual idiocracy. But it's the perfect way to gauge sentiment, because when you look at like Wall Street Bets, there's plenty of subreddits. You can write these down. You've got Wall Street Bets, you've got stocks, you've got investing. These are all the subreddits. You've got day trading, you've got futures trading. There's a trading subreddit. There's a Forex one. The list goes on. There's even ones for index funds. There's like a QQQ or a TQQQ. There's an NVIDIA subreddit. If you just follow all these and you see a unanimous sentiment being put out by the news media, and you see a reflection of those beliefs on like across the majority of those subreddits and a lot of the comments, that is when your play. That's when you know, right? If they all are bullish like they were at the beginning of this year, like January, February, that was a big reinforcement to my belief that the market was going to crash. As soon as it all flipped and everyone panicked, I flipped my bias too, right? You always have to be on the opposite side of what those people are believing, right? And now a lot of those people are coping, and they're basically saying, oh, we're just waiting for the next leg down. As long as they are saying that, brother, you're going to see the market climb that wall of fear. That's all I'm going to say. All right, anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.